minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, X minus 1. Fire.
Lights out, everybody.
The creaking door.
Dimension X.
Inner Sanctum Mystery.
X minus 1.
Dark fantasy.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sci-Fi and Horror, brought to you by Dwayne Old Time Radio. Sci-Fi and Horror features some of the best programs from the golden age of radio, including X-1, Orbiter X, Dimension X, Slot X's, Lights Out, Ray Bradbury, Dark Fantasy, and many, many more. Also, my podcasts are free of ads, so you can enjoy the programs commercial-free. If you would like to donate a few dollars to help me cover the cost of creating these weekly posts, you can donate to my channel. On the bottom of each post, there is a donation link in your preferred podcast player. Anything you donate is extremely helpful and appreciated. The Weird Circle is here. 2 episodes. Their 13th episode, The Man Without a Country. And then their 14th episode, Dr. Manette's Manuscript. Dr. Manette's Manuscript, the 14th episode. Difficult to find exact dates for the Weird Circle, but these aired in 1943.
The Weird Circle. In this cave by the restless sea, we are met to call from out the past stories strange and weird. Bellkeeper, toll the bell, so all may know we are gathered again in the Weird Circle. Phantoms of a world gone by speak again their immortal tale, The Man Without a Country.
Philip Nolan, officer in the pay of the United States Army. I've so many memories of Philip Nolan. I think I was the only friend he ever had. I think I was the only man who really knew him during his whole incredible lifetime. I knew what he suffered when his boy's dream turned into a living nightmare. And it all started so innocently. Philip Nolan was 20 years old or so, and he'd conceived a bad case of hero worship for Aaron Burr. Philip and I were stationed together at camp. We were in the Legion of the West. And it was then, in the year 1805, that we had become close friends. I remember one particular evening that Philip and I were strolling down the barracks together. Philip was excited.
Hey, you'll imagine, Burr will be here at this camp tonight, and I've permission to see him. That's a man for you, Hale, a real man. You know what they say about him? He's going to break away from the United States, and he's got an army behind him, an empire before him. Conquer Mexico. You know what? I'd enlist behind Aaron Burr and follow him straight to hell if it were necessary. I wonder if I could enlist with him. I'll ask him tonight. That's what I'll do. Tonight.
That was a great day for poor Nolan. As soon as Burr arrived, he sent for Nolan. Nolan responded immediately, and he ran from barracks all the way to the great man's room. He knocked on the door, and in a frenzy of impatience, waited. He didn't know it then, but he was waiting for a living death. A living death.
Mr. Nolan. Well, sir, it's been a long time since I've seen you.
Mr. Burr, I've written you repeatedly, time and time again. I thought when you didn't answer, you'd forgotten me.
Forgotten you? Indeed, no. Come in, boy. No, I haven't forgotten you. Nolan, I need you. I've some great plans for you.
For me, Mr. Burr? Plans for me?
Yes, indeed.
Sir, is it true what they say?
Well, Nolan, that depends on what they say. You can tell me that.
You're starting a new army? You're out for empire to set yourself up over Mexico and...
So they've gathered that much, have they? Well, Nolan, don't spread that rumor around. But between you and me...
You and me? Oh, Mr. Burr, Sir...
Nolan, you're a good man. How'd you like to take me out in your skiff and show me the canebrake? Or a cottonwood tree? I've always been interested in the terrain in these parts.
Interested? Or, is this terrain part of your plan, too, Mr. Burr?
Well, we'll talk about that in your skiff. Time enough out there, Nolan.
Yes, there was time enough to talk about a lot of things in the skiff. By the time that sail was over, poor Nolan was enlisted in Aaron Burr's scheme, body and soul. What that scheme was, I never knew, nor does anybody else. But that's not important now. It fell through, and every man of that group was arrested. Nolan was tried for treason. The big fellows, the ringleaders, escaped, but not Nolan. Nolan was taken before a military court. Old Colonel Morgan was presiding. Hours had passed, and the evidence against Nolan was piling up. His own commanding officer was saying,
Nolan, do you deny that you are a traitor to the United States?
Mr. Nolan, can you deny that you agreed to march anywhere at any time under the command of the traitorous Aaron Burr, even if he had commanded you to march against your own country, to march against the United States?
No, I don't deny it.
Mr. Nolan, as presiding judge, I want to ask one question before the gentlemen of this court will judge you. Have you anything to say in defense of yourself? Can you prove that you have always been faithful to the United States of America?
Damn the United States! I wish I may never hear of the United States again!
yes, Nolan said, damn the United States. He had no way of realizing the consequences. I'm not trying to justify Nolan. I'm just saying that the United States wasn't a reality to him. The only thing he cared about was Burr, Aaron Burr. So he said, damn the United States. Old Colonel Morgan called the court into his private chamber and returned in 15 minutes with a face white as a sheet. He just stood and stared at Nolan. And then, with his voice quaking,
Philip Nolan, hear the sentence. The court has decided, subject to the approval of the President, Mr. Jefferson, that you never hear the name of the United States again. Mr. Marshal, take the prisoner to New Orleans in an armed boat and deliver him to Captain Shaw of the Nautilus. See that no one mentions the name of the United States to the prisoner. Make my respects to Captain Shaw and request him to carry out my orders. He will receive written orders from Washington to explain this in detail. The court is adjourned.
I don't care, Colonel Morgan. I tell you, I don't care. I'd say the same thing over and over again. Damn the United States. Damn the United States!
Nolan was taken to New Orleans and placed on board the Nautilus. The ship set out for sea and traveled from New Orleans to the North American coast. It was at dock there that Captain Shaw received intelligence of the proceedings by mail. On board ship that evening, they were docked in the harbor. Captain Shaw explained it to Nolan. Nolan was still the swaggering youngster then, as the old captain related.
Well, Mr. Nolan, the word has come through from your former country's capital.
From Washington?
Yes, Mr. Nolan.
Well, what is the happy word?
You are a man without a country, Mr. Nolan.
Without a country?
The court has sentenced you to have your wish fulfilled. You will never hear of your country again. You will live on board ship for the rest of your life. You may wear whatever uniform you wish.
Naturally, my own uniform.
The buttons will have to be changed for plain buttons.
Well, why is that, sir?
There is the insignia of your ex-country on the buttons.
What? I see.
You will remain under guard, of course, to prevent your escape.
Naturally.
But otherwise, you will have the freedom of the ship. And believe me, Mr. Nolan, you will not be exposed to any kind of indignity.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you very much.
And so it was that the man without a country sailed the seven seas. He never stayed on one boat for more than a year. He went from ship to ship. And it was 10 years later that he was again shipping out on the Nautilus. He was shipping out of England this time, and I'd been sent over from America to England for special research. I was to come back on board the Nautilus myself. And so, of course, the very first day at sea, I was called into the captain's cabin.
Oh, hello, Lieutenant Hale. Won't you come in?
Thank you, Captain Shaw.
Sit down, sir.
Thank you.
I called you into my cabin to talk to you about Philip Nolan. You no doubt know he's on board with us this trip.
Yes, I've been told.
He's an old friend of yours, I believe.
Well, yes, we were in the Western Legion together.
You know the story.
Are they still maintaining silence, Captain?
I'm afraid so. And as long as you're on board my boat, I must ask you to please never mention the United States to Nolan. No news of home, no talk about old times, no word of his family, and especially no word of the United States.
Well, of course, sir. Whatever you say.
And, Mr. Hale, be prepared for a shock when you see Nolan. He's changed. He's changed a lot more than you realize.
Changed. Yes, the captain warned me, but I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Nolan was an old man. An old man at 32. He was standing with a guard at the railing of the Nautilus when I approached him. He wheeled around and stared at me for a moment.
Hale! Hale, old boy. It's good to see you. I didn't know. I'd no idea.
Philip, hello.
It's been a long time. Oh, it's all right, guard. You can leave me alone with Hale. I won't escape.
But, sir...
I'll take full responsibility for him.
Of course, sir. I'll report to the captain.
Hale, look at me. I'm still your old friend, am I not?
Of course, Philip.
Where have you been? What have you done since I last saw you?
I traveled around. Been in England.
England? What happened after you left the Western Legion?
Well,
You what? But tell me, Hale.
I've read a lot of good books.
Books? That's just great. You too, Hale.
I can't help it, Philip.
Have you any idea what I'm going through? From boat to boat, always being shifted, always under guard. Every book I read is carefully edited. Whole passages are torn out of it. I never eat dinner at one table. I'm shifted around all the time. Nobody can stand my company night after night. I've so little to talk about. And I'm so hungry for home. So hungry for news of home, my family, my country. I want to touch the ground, the land. I want to know what happened to Texas. What did they do to Aaron Burr? Hale, 10 years of this. 10 years. I was just a boy. I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know.
Please, Philip, please.
I'm sorry. Seeing you again. And you're the only person who knows I feel this way. I won't mention it again.
I know you won't, Philip.
Don't tell anybody. You won't tell anybody.
Well, of course I won't.
4 o'clock. I have a little duty to perform at 4.
Well, what's that, Philip?
I read to them, the sailors. They like it. The only thing I'm allowed to do for them. They pick the book, and I read a chapter or so.
Well, that sounds interesting. You mind if I come along?
Not at all. No, we'll go down this hatch over here. Follow me. This way. This way to the crew's quarters. Hi, everybody. Reading. Hello, men. This is Lieutenant Hale.
Hello. How do you do, sir? I hope you don't mind if I just sit here and listen.
Glad to have you.
What book have you picked out for today?
Well, you started The Lay of the Last Minstrel yesterday. Let's finish that.
Good idea. Where is it?
Here it is, sir.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's a good poem. I was on the 3rd canto yesterday. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yes. I'll start here. The aged harper, how so ear, his only friend his harp was dear. Like not to hear it ranked so high above his flowing poesy. Less liked he still that scornful jeer. Misprized the land he loved so dear. High was the sound, as thus again the bard resumed his minstrel strain.
Read more, Mr. Plainpot.
Has anybody got a glass of water for me? My voice is sort of going.
Oh, sure. Here you are, Mr. Nolan. I'll pour it for you.
Thanks, son. Yeah, that's better. Now, the next verse.
Quiet, everybody. Go ahead, Mr. Nolan.
Breathes there a man with soul so dead, who never to himself hath said, this is my own, my native land, whose heart ne'er within him burned, as home his footsteps he hath turned from wandering on a foreign strand. If such there breathe, go, mark him well. For him no minstrel raptures swell. High though his titles, proud his name, boundless his wealth, as wish can claim. Despite these titles, power and pelf, the wretch concerted all in I'm sorry, boys. I don't think I feel up to reading today.
Yes, that's the way it was on board ship. Little things like that poem were always occurring, and poor Nolan tried to take it all like a man. He stayed below in his cabin for 2 days after that, and I didn't want to intrude myself on his misery, so I spent my time talking to the captain and the crew. It was late the second afternoon. Captain Shaw, myself, and Lieutenant Vaughan were standing at the rail, and of course the conversation turned to Nolan. Vaughan was saying,
Funny thing about Nolan. He never allows anybody to come into his cabin. I wonder why.
That's his business. I don't think we should intrude, Lieutenant.
Well, sir, it was just curiosity. Hear what the men say about that cabin.
And what do they say?
Oh, some think it's full of voodoo tricks or some such nonsense. You know, Captain, if I were you, I'd order him to leave his cabin door open.
Since I'm the captain, Mr. Vaughan, that decision is in my hands.
Ship sighted off port! Slaver!
Pardon me, gentlemen.
Ship sighted off port! Slaver!
Lieutenant Vaughan.
Yes, sir.
To your post, sir. We'll be pulling alongside this ship to board her.
Yes, of course, sir.
Ship sighted off port! Slaver! Ship sighted
ship suddenly came to life. We had overhauled a dirty little schooner which had slaves on board. We fired 2 shots across her bow, and the little ship struck her colors. A boat and officer were sent to board her. There was considerable commotion on the slaver, and we waited patiently. Nolan came on deck and was standing at the rail talking to the captain when Lieutenant Vaughan returned to report to the captain.
Captain, sir, I can't understand them. Every man on board speaks some strange patois, though some of them can speak Portuguese.
Portuguese, eh? Nobody on board here speaks Portuguese.
I do, sir. I've learned to do many things in the 10 years of spare time I've had.
You, Nolan, eh? Well, would you oblige by acting as interpreter?
Of course, sir. As well as I can.
Thank you. Mr. Vaughan.
Yes, sir.
Have your men remove the handcuffs and the ankle irons from those men enslaved in that boat.
Very well, sir.
Come along then, Nolan. Lower a second lifeboat, bosun. This way, Mr. Nolan.
The boat was lowered, and we rowed over to the slaver. We stalled in the waters for half an hour, giving Vaughan plenty of time to quell any manner of resistance. By the time we boarded the boat, the 3-man crew was in chains, and the slaves, freed from their handcuffs and ankle irons, were swarming over the deck, wildly jubilant, shouting. But the deck was dirty, and the stench from the ship was strong, and the 3-man crew, chained to the mainmast, were shouting dire oaths at us as we boarded the side.
Gracias a Dios. Estaremos en casa dentro de poco tiempo.
Ask those men which is their captain.
Yes, sir. ¿Qué me su capitão?
Aquele ali.
He's the tall man with the red hair, sir.
Ask him if he knew that he was violating the law of the United... Ask him if he knew that he was violating the law, Mr. Nolan.
Sabia que estava violando a leis dos Estados Unidos da América.
Não sei nada.
He says he knows nothing, sir.
Nothing, eh? The rotten scoundrel. Look at the filth of this deck. Look at the way he had the slaves handcuffed. He knew what he was doing, all right. He was dealing in human flesh. Held the slaves, Nolan, they're free.
Quietos todos. O Capitão Shaw do barco Nautilus. Que lhes diga que estão todos livres.
And you can also tell them that their captain will be hanged as soon as I can find enough rope to hang him with.
O Capitão Shaw diz que a tripulação será punida.
Tell them I'll take them to Cape Palmas.
O Capitão Shaw diz que vocês serão levados ao Cabo das Palmas.
What are they saying?
I can't tell. They're all shouting at once. Wait till I single one of them out. Busse! Sing busse! Venha cá, silencio todos! Que dizem estes homens?
Não queremos ir ao Cabo das Palmas. Queremos ir para casa, ver a nossa gente, voltar as nossas mulheres e filhos. Cabo das Palmas está muito longe de casa.
Meus companheiros estão doentes. Ia no meu barco à procura de doutor. Estes diabos me capturaram.
Nolan.
Meu povo morrerá se não...
What's this all about?
Me levaram contra minha
They don't want
vontade.
to go.
Quero ir para casa, para meu lar.
They want to go home to their country, to their children, to their wives. The first man wants his kinfolk. And the second man, he says his people are sick. Very sick, and that he left his home to get a doctor, and that these devils kidnapped him. He wants to go home. Home, Captain. Every man wants to go home.
Yes, of course, Nolan. Tell them yes. Tell them that they can go to the Mountain of the Moon if they want to. If I have to sail this schooner through the Great White Desert, they shall go home.
O Capitão Shaw, diz que voltarão todos para casa.
And so the slavers were returned to their homes. And they never forgot the look in the eyes of Nolan, the man who would help them. The rest of that journey was uneventful. When I left the Nautilus in the harbor of New York, I saw Nolan standing on the deck waving to me and shouting. And that was the last I ever saw of Philip Nolan. The very last. But I heard tale after tale of the courageous and self-sacrificing work that he did on board each and every ship he sailed on. And then this morning, I received a letter. A letter after 40 years have passed. A letter from Lieutenant Vaughan, Only he isn't a lieutenant now. He's a captain of his own ship. I opened the letter and started to read.
Dear Mr. Hale, Philip Nolan died this morning. He never allowed anybody in his stateroom, as you know, until late last night. It was exactly 4 bells. I got a message from Nolan to come down to see him. I walked into the cabin, looked about for the first time. Do you know what that cabin contained? A shrine to America. A large American flag, a picture of Washington, a large bronze eagle, a map of the United States which he had drawn from memory. And Nolan lay on his bed, beckoning me to come closer to him.
Vaughn, I know I'm dying. But you see, I have a country. Vaughn, I've had a country with me all these years. In my heart, Vaughn, I'm dying. Surely you can tell me something now. Please. Just something.
Of course, Philip. Anything you want.
The map. Tell me what belongs on my map. Is the Mississippi Territory still the Mississippi Territory?
No, it's a state now, Nolan. Mississippi, Missouri.
Yes, I've guessed that. Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. Ohio was the last I knew. That makes 20 states in all. There are 34 now. Where are the other 14? You haven't cut up any of the old ones, I hope.
But they're not cut up. You're all printing the new 14 on your map for you. Florida.
Imagine Florida state. Iowa, Illinois, Louisiana. What about Texas? What happened to Texas, Vaughn?
Texas is part of the Union.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And Arkansas. There's a good American name for you. Did you hear me say it, Vaughn? American. 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 I said it, Vaughn. On this whole ship, in the whole of America, there's not a better American than myself. Not one better in the world. Is there, Vaughn?
Not a better one anywhere, Philip. You're a real American.
Thank you. Thank you.
And his last wish was to have a gravestone somewhere in the United States. Do you think you can arrange for that gravestone, Hale?
The letter was signed, Sincerely yours, Richard Vaughn, Captain, United States Navy. And in a churchyard in his own United States, there is a gravestone in memory of Philip Nolan, Lieutenant in the Army of the United States. He loved his country as no other man loved her, but no man deserved less at her hand.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought to you the story, The Man Without a Country. Bellkeeper, hold the bell. The Weird Circle. In this cave by the restless sea, we are met to call from out the past stories strange and weird. Bellkeeper, toll the bell, so all may know we are gathered again in the Weird Circle. Speak again the immortal tale, Dr. Manette's Manuscript.
Gentlemen of the jury, I have in my hand a manuscript that Dr. Alex Manette unearthed on the night of February 12th, 1751. A manuscript that will provide conclusive proof of the guilt of Charles St Evemond, accusing him of fraud, murder, and conspiracy. A chain of fantastic events lead to Dr. Manette's finding of the manuscript, and I should like to describe these events to you now. I, Philippe Gentil, was with Alex Manette earlier in the evening. I had dropped by his home in hopes of persuading him to join me at a large soirée which was being given that night by one of the most distinguished barons in all Paris. The baron's name is unimportant. Dr. Manette and I were standing at the doorway of his home. It was exactly 6:45. That I remember because the grandfather's clock in the living room was just beginning to chime.
I'm sorry, Philippe. I simply can't come to the ball this evening. I promised several of my patients that I'd drop by and see them.
She's going to be there.
She? Who?
Who? The woman I was telling you about. Countess Clarissa St Evemond.
Ah, your countess with the mysterious husband. Well, she's half what you say she is, Philippe Gentil. It'd be just as well if I don't meet her.
Nothing can persuade you?
Nothing. Come along. I'll walk you outside at any rate.
And if you change your mind, come to 12 Rue Saint-Honoré.
If I change my mind. Give your countess my greetings. That is, if her husband isn't around.
Now, don't worry about him. Charles St Evemond is never around. He's too busy on his estates in Normandy.
Goodbye, Philippe.
Goodbye, Alec. And don't forget, 12 Rue Saint-Honoré. You will make it?
I won't forget, but I can't make it. Well, it must be close to 7 o'clock. Better hurry. I'll never finish my calls tonight. A party, indeed. I have no time for parties.
Dr. Manette.
Yes? Who is it?
Over here, please, in the carriage.
Oh, what do you want?
I'd like to see you for a moment. You are Dr. Manette, aren't you?
Yes, I am, but I don't believe I have the privilege of knowing you.
I have a patient that needs your aid very badly. Won't you please accompany us?
But who are you?
That is unimportant as far as you're concerned, monsieur. Robert.
Yes, brother?
Perhaps your pistol can persuade the doctor to join us?
Well, I don't need to be persuaded by force to help save human life.
This is not force, Dr. Manette. Now, if you don't mind, we've a great deal to do this evening. We insist that you enter the carriage.
Right in here, sir. A middle seat will do.
Very well.
We can handle this all very agreeably, Doctor, if you will be reasonable. You'll be well paid for your work.
I'm sure of it.
Are you ready, brother?
Quite ready, Robert. All right, driver. I hate to inconvenience you, Dr. Manette, believe me. But I'm forced to tie this handkerchief around your eyes. I prefer that you do not know where we're taking you, for reasons which are purely personal. I hope you don't mind.
No, go right ahead. Nothing I can do about it, is there?
No, not very much, Dr. Manette. Just sit quietly and the work will soon be over.
Well, Doctor, this is your destination. I'll remove the blindfold from your eyes now.
What was that scream I just heard?
It's your patient, Dr. Manette.
We'll take you right upstairs to her now. If you will follow me, Doctor, up this staircase.
Musty old place, isn't it?
Yes, quite old.
You lived here long?
Does it matter?
Sorry, my mistake. Girl, has she been that way for long?
2 days now, Doctor. Her screams are as regular as the swing of a pendulum, and we can't quiet her. That is why you're here. These screams are nerve-wracking to myself and to my brother Robert. Oh, it's this door here. Go right in, Doctor.
My husband, my father, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Pay no attention to her chatter, Doctor.
Why have you bound her to the bed?
To keep her from going mad.
You think that's protection from insanity? This girl is already in the last stages of brain fever. You don't mind if I untie her, do you?
Mind? Why should I? Here's all the medicine you might need.
Thank you.
My husband, my father, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hush.
Quiet, my dear. I'll just undo these ties. Most we can hope for is to administer a sedative and keep her quiet. Is this fresh water in the container?
Quite fresh, Doctor.
Quite a medical collection here.
Yes, we have, quite.
My husband, my father, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hush.
What does this cry of hers mean?
How should I know? Nothing at all.
Well, Doctor, what do you think?
I think the girl has been purposely driven mad, gentlemen. That she is dying.
If that is your opinion, Dr. Manette, it is best you keep it to yourself.
Here you are, my dear. Drink this.
No.
There now. Open your mouth.
What would you suggest we do with her, Dr. Manette?
I can't suggest anything. It's too late.
My husband, my father, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Quiet, my dear, quiet.
Nobody must find him. Nobody. He's safe. Safe from you, you beast.
Now, you're quite safe, my dear. Quite safe. I'm the doctor.
Doctor, don't forget the numbers. The graves. The graves. The graveyard.
What did she say to you, Doctor?
She spoke too softly. I couldn't understand it. Well, gentlemen, you waited too long. The young lady is dead.
How unfortunate.
Oh, Manette, you remember the doctor's code, do you not?
What exactly are you referring to?
The sanctity of the deathbed confession. The silence in which it must be held. If you repeat anything you've seen here this evening, we will take legal recourse to prove that you were responsible for the death of this girl.
You're not threatening me, are you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Now, Doctor, if you're ready, my brother will blindfold you and return you to the place we originally found you. And before you leave, Doctor...
Yes?
I promised you you'd be well paid. In this little bag are 100 gold pieces.
Thank you. But I only did what was humanly possible.
Robert, see that the Dr. Manette is returned home safely.
Driver, hold the carriage. This is where we found you, Dr. Manette. I hope if we should ever meet again, it'll be in happier circumstances.
Yes, I hope so.
Good night, Doctor.
Oh, tell me one thing before you leave.
Yes?
How did you know about me?
We've heard a great deal about you, Dr. Manette, indirectly through a friend of yours. His name, I believe, is Philippe Gentil. Good night, Doctor.
Philippe Gentil. I wonder. What was that address he gave me? 12 Rue Saint-Honoré. I'd better walk over there. I wonder... My father, my brother, my husband, the 12 numbers. Hush.
Dr. Manette walked quickly to number 12 Rue Saint-Honoré. When he arrived, the Baron's house was already crowded with merrymakers. I was seated in the corner with the Countess when Alex rushed in. I introduced him to Clarissa, and he told us the exact story which I have just recounted. I noticed that Clarissa appeared to be pale. Then she said,
I beg of you, Dr. Manette, please forget all about this evening. Forget that you were ever here. Forget that you ever saw this man.
Do you know who he is?
Philippe, please. I'm feeling very faint. I'd like to go outside for some fresh air.
Certainly, Clarissa.
Do you mind if I join you?
Oh, not at all. We'll leave through the side doors. Philippe, is anybody watching us?
Not that I notice, my dear.
Follow me, gentlemen. Out this way, and shut the doors behind us. Now, let me warn you, Dr. Manette. Your life is in great danger.
Then you know the gentleman that I'm talking about.
Yes, I know them. My husband and his brother Robert. You see, Philippe has told me about you, Doctor. And yesterday, because I was feeling ill, I asked my husband to send for you. But he's a fiend, that one.
Your husband? But what is he up to?
Revenge.
On whom?
On me. He's always trying to trap me. Charles knows I've nothing but loathing for him. And in that twisted mind of his, he suspects my love for Philippe.
So that's why his brother Robert mentioned Philippe's name to me.
Yes. And when he threatened to accuse you of murder, it was no idle threat. He's had you followed here. He means to trap us all.
Oh, but, Countess, I can prove my innocence.
You think so, Dr. Manette. But you don't know his power.
If he finds out about us, Clarissa.
Philippe, it's no use, my dear. He came to Paris to take me back with him tomorrow. I was going to tell you our little dream was over tonight. Only I wanted it to be gay and exciting and say goodbye as if I were leaving on an adventure.
My dear Countess, what do you know about the 12 numbers?
12 numbers? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Have you any idea who the girl was?
None. Unless she's a daughter of one of the peasants on the land. It's not unusual for Charles or that pig of a brother of his to amuse themselves at the expense of such unfortunates. Oh, I warn you, Dr. Manette, if you've any respect for your life, go. Go as far from here as you possibly can.
And leave you to the mercy of your husband and half of Normandy to that kind of tyranny? No, I don't think so.
Alex is quite right, Clarissa. This is no time to run from anything. Our first job is to get you to safety. And the next is...
to find out what the 12 numbers mean.
But you don't understand. Charles planned all this to happen exactly the way it has. He knew Dr. Manette would join us at the party, and he also knows that we'll try to escape. And nothing would please him more than to catch me this way.
If he does catch you, Clarissa, send for one of the maids in this house. And I think for a few francs she might lend you some clothes.
But, Philippe, you're both risking your lives. Don't you understand?
Well, since they are our lives, Countess, we'll worry about them. Now, do what Philippe says, and let's hurry.
Yes. Go into the house by yourself, Clarissa. Upstairs to the dressing room and wait. I'll go in the back way and send one of the maids up to you. Alex, you wait here for me. Don't take any chances, any of you.
I'll see you later, Philippe, darling.
Later.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hush. I don't get it. My father, my brother, my husband...
Are you Dr. Alex Manette?
Huh? Why, yes, I am.
I am Inspector Delvray from the Paris police. In the name of the king, I arrest you for the murder of Lily Deschamps.
Well, gentlemen, while Alex was waiting for us in the garden, the inspector of the Paris police arrested him for the murder of a girl he didn't even know. Dumbfounded at first, Alex just stared at Inspector Deveray.
I'm arrested? So soon. Who pressed these charges?
Count Charles St Evemond.
Ah, and the girl I supposedly killed is... what is her name again?
Lily Deschamps.
Lily Deschamps, so that's her name.
Come along. Come along, sir.
My coat is inside. If you'll give me permission, I'll just get my coat and hat. And join you down here in a few minutes?
I wouldn't try to escape, sir. The house is surrounded.
You have my word, monsieur. I shall be back. Philippe! Countess St Evemond. Countess!
Dr. Manette? Come in here. I thought you were to wait downstairs.
Great heavens, I would never have recognized you, Countess.
It's the maid's costume. How do I look in peasant dress?
Charming, madame, but where is Philippe?
Waiting in the garden. I thought he was with you.
I've just been arrested. Now, I've only a short time, so listen to me carefully. I must escape, and I've only one chance. You and Philippe must have to work fast to help me.
Of course, Doctor, anything.
Now, I'll manage to delay the inspector for 15 minutes. In that time, you and Philippe must arrange to follow the inspector's carriage in your own cab. Now, to get to the jail from here, they must travel down the Rue Blas to a quiet part of the quay near the Seine. Now, I'll be riding with the inspector, a prisoner, in his cab. You understand?
Yes, so far I do, Doctor.
Now, listen carefully. There's a warehouse at the corner where you turn down the quay. Now, you and Philippe instruct your driver to go full speed the other way around it and meet us. Have Philippe bring money and 2 pistols. I'll be ready.
You can count on us, Doctor. We shan't fail.
This must be the spot. Look, Clarissa. There's his carriage right ahead, turning toward the quay.
Philip, are you sure this is the place?
Positive, darling. There's the warehouse Alex told us about.
The coachman.
Yes?
Turn to the left here.
Oui, monsieur. Yep.
The inspector's cab will come down the left side of the street. When we start galloping, Clarissa, open the door and hop out quickly and head for the warehouse in the corner. Wait in the doorway for us if there's any trouble.
Yes, Philippe. Yes, darling.
Coachman.
Yes?
As soon as you turn the corner toward the quay, put your horses into full gallop. You'll see another carriage heading toward us.
Oui, monsieur.
Head for it. Run straight into it.
But my cab, sir.
You're a 4,000 francs driver. That'll take care of the cab and any damage that could possibly occur.
Oh, oui, monsieur.
Look, Philippe. There's the inspector's cab at the other end of the block.
All right, driver. Full gallop. That's the other cab. Head into him.
Oui, monsieur.
Here we go, Philippe.
Be ready to jump, Clarissa, the minute we strike.
Watch out, Philippe.
Hold on, darling. Look, there's Alex in the other cab. He's got his hand on the door. He's ready. Here we go for the crash. Open the door, Clarissa. Jump!
Why don't you look where you're going? Get those horses of yours untangled, fellows. Why, we could all have been killed. This is the prefect's special cab. Idiot.
This way, Clarissa.
I'm following you, darling. Where's Alex?
He's out of Devereaux's cab and running down the street. He meet us at the corner. Hurry, darling, hurry.
Oh,
This way, Clarissa. Down here.
I'm so worn out.
Hurry, darling, hurry. Around this corner. Before they notice Alex is gone.
Here. In here. Both of you, quickly.
Alex, you all right?
I'm a bit shaken, but I'll be all right. Now, this is the old warehouse I was telling you about. I hope the door is open. There it is. Quickly, follow me in here. Now, we'll be quite safe here till they give up the hunt.
It's so dark in here, Doctor.
All the better. Now, we'd have to wait in here for a few hours. Then we'll get a cab out of town.
Where can we go, Doctor?
To the country, to your husband's estate. There, I think we shall find out what the 12 numbers mean. And then I'll have the answer to this whole mystery. Well, make yourselves comfortable. We've a long wait.
For a long while, Clarissa, Alex, and myself sat huddled in the corner of the warehouse waiting. Alex stood near the door, one eye to the keyhole watching. Finally, as morning came, he beckoned to us. Cautiously, the 3 of us emerged into the deserted early morning streets. We walked several blocks without encountering a soul. Unfortunately, not even a cab was in sight. We were about to give up hope when Alex saw a cab rolling down the streets. He hailed it. And we got in. Alex took complete charge of the proceedings.
Driver, take the river road out of town to the St Evemond estates in Normandy.
I'm sorry, monsieur, but I can't leave Paris in my cab.
The revolver in your back may change your mind. Go on, and quickly.
Oui, monsieur.
Clarissa, Philippe, sit on the floor of the carriage.
Come along, Clarissa.
And cover yourselves with this robe. Driver,
If you stop to signal anybody even for a second, you'll be killed.
Oui, monsieur. I understand.
I'm glad you do. And hurry, it's a 2-hour journey. Countess, do you know anyone by the name of Deschamps? Lily Deschamps?
Yes, I do. She's a peasant girl who works in the St Evemond land in Normandy. She lives with her father, her husband, and her brother.
My father, my husband, my brother. 1, 2, 3.
At least she did live with them. Charles told me yesterday that her father and her husband both died. Probably from overwork. Charles always hated that family. More than any of the others, and worked them twice as hard. Often he'd hitch them to a wagon and force them to do the work of cattle.
The right of a landowner. Some of our French laws are a combination of cruelty and stupidity. But what about her brother?
I don't know, really.
Well, Lily Deschamps is the girl I'm accused of murdering. I don't know why, but that's what we're going to find out as soon as we get there.
But how, Alex?
Just before the girl died, she mentioned something about a graveyard. Just whispered it. A graveyard. If I can only find out what the numbers mean.
Doctor, right ahead of us at the turn of the road is the graveyard. I think we'd better stop the carriage here before somebody sees us.
Yes, quite right, Countess. Draw up here, driver.
Oui, monsieur.
Let me help you out of the carriage, Miss Clarissa.
Thank you, darling. Oh, Philippe, I'm so frightened. Frightened for all of us.
Now, darling, don't be. Pray for the best.
You lead the way, Countess. Driver, you walk between my friend and me.
Oui, monsieur.
Now, be quiet, everybody.
Here! I tell you I saw a carriage coming down the road.
Kneel down, everybody. Quiet.
I tell you you're wrong. Come on, let's eat breakfast before the Count gets back, or we won't eat at all.
But I think we ought to look again here. You know what the Count Charles' orders are? No strangers allowed on the line.
Well, what he doesn't know won't hurt him. Come on, let's eat.
Those are two of the workers. They'll be returning to their homes. The graveyard's right through this hedge.
So many headstones. How can we find the one we're looking for?
Here's luck, Alex. Here are some marked Deschamps.
Yes, Philippe. Look. Here's the grave of Lily's father. Next to it is her husband's grave. And next to that is her brother's.
It's empty, Clarissa.
I know, but it's a custom here for every peasant to dig his own grave before death and carve his own tombstone.
Oh, what a pleasant little plan. Then the brother must still be alive somewhere.
Yes. Doctor, now that you've found the graves, what do we do?
Find something to count on. Now, I wonder where this flagstone path leads to, the one next to the husband's grave.
Oh, I've never noticed it before. Why, it goes to the old well over there.
The flagstone path to the well. How many flagstones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it. 12 flagstones to the well. 12. It must be hidden in the well somewhere.
I don't follow you, Alex.
Well, it's so simple. The girl and her family evidently found out something about your husband, Countess. They had no way of proving it because they couldn't go into court without the consent of your husband.
I'm sorry, Doctor. It still doesn't make any sense.
Of course it does. Your husband killed 2 men in trying to extract the information from them. They tortured the girl to death, drove her insane. And they never understood the code that she was giving me. My husband, my father, my brother, 1, 2, 3, the 12 numbers, hush. I wonder what the hush was for.
Hush? Well, that's the inscription written on this stone in the old well. Look, it's right here.
Hush, ye who enter here, for they are dead. Look, this one stone of the well. Now, let me see. Now, look, Philippe, it's loose. I can move it, I think. Yes, it moves.
You fools! I'll have you all flogged for allowing strangers on my property.
It's my husband. He discovered us.
I think he's too late. Look, there's a roll of parchment here, a manuscript.
Clarissa, what are you doing here?
Shoot them if you have to, Philippe. But hold them off with your gun until I've read this manuscript.
Stay back, my Clarissa. Stand where you are, both of you.
Insolent.
Drop that gun, you fool. I can have you hanged for this.
Stand back.
This is the title to the St Evemond property in Normandy. In the year 1751, all said property reverts from the St Evemond family to their cousins, the Deschamps family. And the debt of the Deschamps family is paid in full on February 1st, 1751, at exactly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Did you hear that, Count St Evemond?
Yes, I did.
You know what this means? That you will die on the gallows for a triple murder. as soon as we can haul you and this documentary proof of ownership into court, which will be right now.
So, gentlemen of this court, this document, Dr. Manette's manuscript, is living proof in your hands. The only reason the Deschamps family could not bring that document in themselves was that it did not come due until 11 days ago, February 1st, 1751. Until that date, the Deschamps were sworn vassals of the St. Evemond family, bonded peasants on their own lands, and Charles and his brother Robert were determined to wipe out the entire family. They succeeded in killing the father, the husband, and even the girl. But the brother is still alive.
Thank you, Monsieur Gentil. Charles and Robert St Evemond, this court finds you guilty and sentences you to death. The property will revert to young Deschamps as soon as he can be located.
Your Honor, you won't have to locate the young man. I am the young Deschamps, alias Philippe Gentil.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have heard again the story, Dr. Manette's manuscript. Bell keeper, toll the bell.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy what I'm doing, I ask you to please subscribe to my channel or channels. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, peace.